Today we're back with the build I did last week, and I think it was called the mirror build. I made that name up. I don't know. But this is the renovated side. So if you haven't seen the first part, I'll just link it up above. But basically, we've done two houses the exact same, and then one side's completely destroyed, and then this side is like the renovated, redone version by like the ancestors of the family, or what are they, ancestors, or is that the right word? I think it's the right word. Anyway, we're jumping into a tour, and then this is like the main entryway, and it's like a full like loop around, so we can just go in a circle. This is the living room, and then I gave him like a cute little study nook room because they have two kids, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I think I have two kids. But if you haven't seen that video either, I did a Kaz video of the whole family, so I'll put that up above as well. Okay, I'm just giving you all of the videos to watch. Okay, and then we go to a little hallway, and then this is actually in that entry room. It's just behind the stairs, and then a cute little bathroom, and then they have a formal dining room with a little bar. And then they have like little bar drinks up on the shelves. And then this like little door also goes out on the wraparound balcony. And then we go into the kitchen. And then you might have noticed some changes if you watched the other video. I have added like bigger windows on this bottom floor. But the rest of the house is pretty much the same. Except, I shouldn't lie. Except I've changed a couple of like the rooms. Technically, I've like shifted some walls. Okay, I've shifted some walls, but it's all the same size. So I've made this into the full teens room. So they have this whole side section. They have a whole art room and then a little closet area. I think this room's my favorite. I don't know why. It's so like cute and light and bright. I just love it. So that's her room. And then we go back out into the entry, the little, what would you call this? Foyer. And then we go into the little brother's room. I also love this room. I outdid myself, guys. I really like this house. Okay, and that might work. I've sized that down. That's like the kid kit and the happy. Maybe not a kit. It was like the happy camper thing, and I sized down like the tent because I thought it was cute. And then this is a connecting office to the main parents' bedroom, and then they have an ensuite. Everyone has their own bathroom, really, and then I only show you these bathrooms, but all the rest of the restrooms look exactly the same upstairs as well. They're in the exact same spot in that same circular room. And then we go upstairs, and then this is literally like basically a big play area, I guess. I gave them like a big games room, and then just threw out some more extra game stuff on the entryway there. And then on the other side is the mom's like relaxation place. She has a whole sauna and then like a cute little yoga room. And if you've seen it, they have like 3 yoga mats on the patio. That's like family yoga time for them. And then maybe the daughter joins her sometimes in there. And then I actually turned this into a greenhouse. I debated a couple of options, but I ended up with greenhouse instead because I remembered the father is really into plants and stuff like that. So that's why there's a bunch of plants throughout the house as well. And then that's basically it. And then we're going to jump into landscaping first. And then I have to paint everything as well. So I went with light and bright was everything. I went completely gutted the house and repainted and what would you call it? Like refurbished the stones. I don't know. So I went with like a more modern wood paneling. It's essentially the same house, but it doesn't look the same at all. I don't know. It's really just the same house. I swear it's the same. But I just added a couple of more like big windows for the greenhouse, and then on the bottom floor of the house, those windows as well. In the kitchen and the living room, I think it really opens it up and brings a lot of light in. I did like the destroyed version, but I think I like this better. I think I really outdid myself. I'll give myself a high five, guys. Okay? But yeah, this is the greenhouse it ended up being. And then I think we just start with like the landscaping. And I went with like a more like I can't say it. Manicured like lawn and more put together. Obviously the other side is very in a very bad way. It's in disarray, I guess, and it's overgrown and unkempt. This one was the opposite, very clean and tidy and very nice. Okay, and then I did like a weird, like, you know, like some fancy houses have like a very large like driveway sort of. That's the kind of vibe I went for. I went with like the two sides, and then I kind of connected it in the middle to the main pathway, and then I kind of just like, how would you say it? Like edged it off. I don't know, is that the right word? Like finished it off with like borders of like hedging and stuff like that. So no real fences per se. It's just all bush in, but it's more manicured, I guess. And then my really bad squiggly pathways I end up filling in because I put a lot of like greenery in between. And then they get a pool. And originally I was gonna do like that greenhouse into a guest house or pool house, but I changed my mind once I got inside and I like reconfigured the layout just that like tiny bit. And I was like, oh, you know what? This makes more sense. So I went and rewatched. I had to rewatch my own video because I couldn't remember what exactly the personalities were. So because in the other side it was more like generic. This side is much more personalized and in depth, I guess, because everything has like a much more like style to it, if you would say, and not as like bland. Okay, so there's a lot of like storytelling aspects in here. And then I found these like very short like debug hedges, but I couldn't find them again to get the amount I needed, so I had to use these regular like bush hedges. They're okay, but they're like short and stout and kind of like flared. I don't know if anybody's ever seen those, but they're in like debug menu and they were so good. They were perfect for what I wanted them, but I ended up using those ones because I couldn't find them again to get the right amount. And so I've done these individually because if I do the fence, I can't put it along the edge of the lot like I want it. So there's that. And I just really framed it all out because this really helped me like lay out how the rest of the house would look, I guess. And I started putting like lots of topiary and like those, like the very like round bushes. I don't know what they're just topiary, right? I think. And then I always like using these like very neat trees here. They look like they've been trimmed exactly so just for display purposes. I don't know. And then I kind of just framed this whole thing in until it was like kind of like exactly the way I want it. And then I framed off the pool as well. And then I gave them like, I do it later. I don't do it now. I gave them like a little playground area. But we can skip some of it. And now I'm on to like a couple of like the other pieces of the garden. So I put more framing of like bushes and trees around. And then I always do the same layering of like I don't know what they were called, like the yellow, there might be like called like yellow pale flowers, I think. And then I just like layer it with like another like white flower, like brown flower that kind of looks like a bush, I guess. And then that's pretty much all I did out here. It's all very much the same, just repeat it. Oh, and I did that like very big like elephant thing in the front of the house there. I thought that was cute with like the little two topiary trees on this either side. That was adorable. And then I'm just framing everything in. So it's very it looks like you shouldn't come in there. You have to go through like the main entryway is what I was kind of going for. And then I put like sand here, make it like kind of sand pit-ish, child-like, I don't know. And then I'm pretty sure, I'm like 90% sure you can play in the sand as if it's like a real beach and do sand castles and stuff like that. So that's pretty much all that's out here. And then I put like a little bit more playground equipment. But this is all pretty much done. And then we hop inside. But I think, I don't know, I put it, because I felt like it was kind of like getting a little too boring. I put a couple of like the twinkle light bushes throughout as well. So I kind of mixed it up with that, but I don't know. It might be a little too boring and neat. I don't know. You have to tell me. Is it too much or too, should I have broken it up a little? Or does it like, because I was going for like neat and tidy family, because I feel like the mother, I think one of her traits is actually neat. So I'm thinking through some of like the design choices in the house, I was like trying to like combine separate spaces for different things. I felt like that was like kind of her vibe. She's like, I don't want you to play in the living room, so I made you this separate whole room you can play in, because she kind of likes her like display wise kind of furniture, you know what I mean? She likes it very neat and tidy and not messed with. So if they want to watch a movie or eat popcorn, they have to go upstairs, and they can't do it in the regular living room. That was kind of like the mindset I was in, so I made them like separate spaces for these activities they might do. And then just some more terrain painting to make it look more like realistic. And I always put like dirt and stuff underneath all of my flowers and stuff. It just makes it look less clean. And then I cleaned up the ponds. I'm not too sure about the ponds. I'm still iffy. I don't know if I really like those. They're kind of I just put like lily pads in there. I didn't know what else to do. Oh, you know what I forgot to put? I did put some what are they called? Fountain things in there. The little like geyser things. I didn't check. And I also didn't play test this. I should have play tested this. There was a couple of things I did. I don't know if they worked. But it's fine. It's fine. If you do want to play with this build, it is on my gallery, Simshire. But you might need to play test it before you actually play. But yeah, that's pretty much all this is. And then I tried to use a couple of the archways to get to like end a path, I guess, if that makes sense. In my mind, I was like, okay, this is the start of this area. And this is the start of this area. So I was kind of going for that vibe. I don't know if I succeeded. Okay. Yeah, then I just put, I think I only end up putting one sitting area out here on the ground. I pretty much kept it very neat and not overly like, and now we're onto the kitchen. And I actually really like this kitchen. I could have, because the other side, on the other side of the house, not the other side of the house, on the other build, the other build I did, the abandoned house, I can't speak. They had very nice counters and stuff, but I actually never took another look over there. I was like, you know what? Let's just start completely fresh. Let's not repeat ourselves. So I went like a completely different vibe. This is giving like country. I think this is from like the country, the horse living pack. That doesn't sound right, but that pack. This is what the counters are from. But then the floor is much more like modern and not as distressed as the other ones. I still feel like it all fits together. It's very much a mix of modern and not. I think it's very cute. And then, oh my god, I gasped so loud. I came back then 1 or 2 days later to finish this build. My half of the kitchen was gone. I was so like, wow. But I had already like started a different section of the house, so I couldn't replant my previous save I had done, because I had already done stuff. I thought I checked, I swear, I thought I checked it before I did the other stuff, but no. I came back downstairs to grab like a door or something, and I glanced over, and all of my like left counters and my sinks were, I was like, God, I was like, what even happened? What is with this glitch that some items just randomly disappear? They aren't even like the last things placed or anything like that. It's just random items. And it's not even like they were like glitched items or anything like that. They're just regularly placed items and they just randomly disappear. I don't understand. Because the only reason I noticed it is because I do glitch and cheat items everywhere. So all of my like clutter was still there, but just the counters were all gone. I was like, oh, there's counters, and then I think my microwave was missing. I was like, what is happening over here? I'm like missing some stuff. So I had to check through the house. I don't think I was missing. Oh, you know what? I am missing stuff. I just realized that. I'm missing some clutter as I'm rewatching this. I don't have any of this clutter over here. I think I only have like one white item over here. My bad. I tried. I was like, I don't think I'm missing anything else, but I could be wrong. I'm missing clutter on those like right counters over there. And I don't think I was missing anything else. I think, okay? I think. But does anybody, these like alarms and everything, I always think they're like way too big. So I always size them down. But I know you can like upgrade, what is it? The alarm system. But I don't know if you can still use it if I size it down. My bad. I usually do that because I think they're way too big and clunky. in my opinion. I don't know, they just look too big. And then I've never, you know what, I've never had a burglar yet. I played for like 3-4 hours like straight the other day. No burglars. I was playing a different save. I don't know what's wrong with my save file. I don't get no burglars, my guys. I am not, well, I should say I am lucky. No one wants to burglarize me. But yeah, we're pretty much done in here. And then I put it like, it's very similar, but the other side is very, it's very reminiscent of this side. It's in the same style. I did a round counter as well in the middle. And then I did the same like layout. And then, but it's different, okay? It's different items. It has a different vibe. This one's very light and bright and open, and the other one feels more down and brown and dark and gloomy, okay? But I think these windows really helped out because they're such like large and big windows. They really let a lot of light in. And I only did it on the bottom floor, like I said. I felt like the upper floors, the walls were too like, I had too many rooms up there to really put any like large windows or change the windows a lot. The only thing I changed up there was a couple of the door placements, and then like I said, I shifted a wall or two. And I really wanted a super, I was trying to get like a very like formal vibe in the dining room, but I don't know if it's not really formal. What do you think if you watched like the tour? I don't know if it's formal or not. I kind of like pushed it up to the side instead of like centering it, because I centered it with the window instead. I was like, oh, you know what would be nice if they looked out the window while they ate, but the view's not very nice. I think this side goes into the greenhouse maybe. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this side is where the greenhouse faces. So it's not like a very good view, but it is a view nonetheless. Okay. And then, like I said, most like nicer homes have like a breakfast nook and then like a formal dining area. So I guess that's what I'm doing here. I did like a little breakfast nook with a circular table, and then obviously the bench seats at the what is that called? There's a specific name. Hold on. Pause. The Nate, I don't remember. Someone will comment. I'm forgetting the central like bar piece. What is that called? Nope, I give up. No, I don't remember. So yeah, it's a breakfast nook and then a formal dining. Like I said, the mother I feel like is very strict and neat, and like you can't do this here, you got to do it over here, like that type of vibe. You're not allowed to eat in the living room. You're not allowed to do this, blah, 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 blah. And she has like certain sections where they can play and whatnot. She's like, don't you dare bring that sand in here unless you wash off your feet. Stuff like that, you know? That's the vibe I'm getting from the mother. Even though I think she's like a young adult, she's very strict. I don't know why. Maybe her mother was strict with her. And I've defaulted again with my color choices. I love these businesses and hobbies wallpaper. I will use these every day for the rest of my life. Like, I love these wallpapers. I am like a little bit insane. I use these every time now. But I will not reuse any object in my next build. Okay? Because I said I would do a challenge build where I can't repeat any object, which is gonna be a struggle. But I found a way to simplify it. I think I'm getting to only use base game to really like help me focus in on just base game, but that also adds an extra layer of difficulty because base game is base game. There's not a lot of, well, there's a lot of stuff, but there's still not a lot of good stuff. You know what I mean? Like there's not a lot of variation of vibes, I guess I could say. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but maybe you'll know what I mean. But yeah, for that, it'll probably go up this week. I'm not too sure, but we'll see. Stay tuned for that part. But this one, we're onto the dining room. I was kind of going for like the reason I'm still trying to center it at this point, but I was kind of trying to go for like a like head of the table vibe, and then I felt like it was too like in your face. So I was like, how can I shift this? And I also wanted a bar in there. So I was like, how can I fit all of this in here? This all looks a little weird and cramped. So I was like, you know what? Let's like shift it over to here to the window. and get rid of the one chair, but then I felt like it looked odd without the other chair there, and so I had to get rid of that chair, and then that's how it looked. Okay, and so it's centered with the window, not the room. I think it looks still. I feel like it looks nice still. And then I decided to do like a little bar nook, and then I did like shelves with a bunch of like bar bottles and stuff like that. It's just a bunch of wine bottles. It looks very cute. And as always, I'm always like a little bit like, what do I do with entryways? Can someone give me help in what to do with entryways besides putting like random chairs and couches there? Like, I don't know what else to fit in there. A random console table, that's all it fits. But it also, I want more. I feel like it's bland if I just do that. Oh, and then I put pet stuff in here, but they don't even have any pets. I keep doing that. I just like, I feel like they should have a pet, but the amount of Sims is already 8 in the household because of the ghost Sims, so they technically can't have a pet. But I feel like the Sims should implement, if the Sims are dead, they don't count in the family, like, count of the Sims because they're dead. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm saying. They don't really count. Okay, they're dead, so you can't say they are a living, breathing Sim. But yeah, I didn't really, me putting that light there reminded me, I didn't really like any of the like lights for this house. I mean, I liked some of them, like the like wicker basket lights, but I felt like it was too much to put them in every room, since I had so many rooms that it felt like a little too much. Once I put like 2 or 3 down, I was like, this is kind of looking a little too much here. So I just did like the plain little tiny saucer lights, and then I just felt like a little central light they installed to put over the dining table was cute, but I did that. And if you missed it earlier, the what is the name? The father is like a plant into, well, is a plant, yeah, he's a plant, but he's into planting and stuff like that. So there's lots of greenery and plants all around, and that's why we had the greenhouse. And then he's also a writer, so, and that's why if you remember the tour, I have switched the room up a bit. He has that little office area, and it's like a whole like writing office, I guess. And then that's where he writes his bestsellers. Okay, and then this is the entryway. You know what I forgot? I put this down. This little what'd you call this? Gnome welcome mat. And that was because I was gonna put gnomes everywhere in the garden, but I forgot to do that. My bad. Oh well. It was a thought. Okay. Now there's no reason why there's gnomes and why I just wanted a couple extra seats, and I felt like you can't really see it from like the front door is my like reasoning why I spread out behind my little zone I have, I guess. But it's still cute. And then like this area has like a little bit of mess and stuff like that, so I felt like she contains the mess in certain areas, if that makes sense. I don't know, but I do, because in the living room it's very simple and like not so cluttered, and then these areas like with the kids stuff are much more cluttered and much more like messy, I guess, because the kids have been playing here and stuff like that. They've left stuff lay on the ground, they've forgotten their bags and stuff like that. And then I feel like for the very top floor, or well, I feel like for their rooms, I guess they got I feel like she let them decorate their own rooms and stuff like that. And even the game room I have up there, I felt like she let them pick the furniture and stuff like that, because I felt like they were much more in a different style, more teen or kiddish, I guess. And then I feel, you know, she's very strict, but she still lets them do lots of stuff like color on the walls and stuff like that. I feel like that's fine, just in like the safe zones, like I said. But it's all very cutesy. And then I didn't know they had like a little plant. What is it? Oh my gosh, I'm blanking. The little cow plant. What would you call that? The height wall? The cow plant height measure? I don't know what it's called. But that thing, I didn't know they had a version of that, and I thought that was adorable, so I put that there. And so I feel like they're very, I feel the family is very close and connected, but there are some rules and structure in here as well. But yeah, we're pretty much done with this, and then I don't know, we go we go to the bathroom maybe. Yeah, and then I pretty much use this like aesthetic in every one of the bathrooms, and then I fit a laundry nook in here as well. And then since I use the laundry, I couldn't fit like a bathtub or a shower, but you don't really need another full bath down here. There's like 6 more upstairs, so it's fine. What is this from? I think this is from like Parenthood. So I went very Parenthood in this house, I guess. You know what? This is a shame. This house is quite nice and large, but then when you look outside, there's just like a really weird abandoned house behind them. You can just demolish that part, guys. You can pretend it doesn't exist. But this one turned out very well. I did outdo myself, I think. Let me know what you think down below. But I actually really like this bathroom for some reason. I don't know if it's the tile or what. I think it's very cute. And then in that entryway, I just put some random like shelf units and some stools. And then we do the living room. So I went light and bright again. So I guess she likes very cream and brown colors, I guess. That's the mom style, aka my style at the moment. And then I was trying to add color here, and then I couldn't get it to work. So I just went with like a full plain, like white couch set for some reason. I don't know. So that's why she doesn't let them eat in here, because the couches and stuff are white. That's very brave. Does anybody have like a white couch and stuff? I feel like that's insane. Or even like a white bedspread, like hotels. I feel like you have to be insane to have that. Or just very neat. I don't know. I could never. Like even I have my sheets here, and then I literally cleaned them one day and I forgot all about it. My paint stuff is very close to my bed, and so sometimes I'll sit in the bed and then also paint at the same time, which I should not do. And I noticed I had spilled paint all over the bottom of my bedspread. So I would never survive with a white bedspread. It just wouldn't happen for me. I am literally so accident prone and spill everything. I'm horrible. But anyway, light and bright living room, and this is very cutesy. And then I decided to just change the doors because they were very glitchy anyway. I just changed them to simple archways and made this into like a little study nook and room. So I guess the kids have basically taken over the house, because they have the study nook room, they have their bedrooms, and then the teenager takes over this like whole left side of the house over there, and then they have the whole games room. So they've basically taken over the house. But yeah, and then the mom and dad has their own like little sanctuary areas. The dad has like the greenhouse, and then the mom has like her little sauna, which I think is very random. I wasn't gonna put a sauna there, but it just fit, so I did it. But yeah, I just did like a cute little study nook with like a family computer, and then just a little desk to do their homework, and then lots of books because their father is a writer as well, so he likes them to read and stuff like that. And then just another cute little sitting area with some stools, which I always think is cute. I do that a lot. I like to put stools around, and then just some like cushions as well. I think it looks very cozy. I don't know. I don't know. I have one beanbag, but I don't like it. Does anybody like sitting in beanbags? I don't think they're very comfortable. Unless I'm getting like the wrong ones. But I feel like mine's very, very hard. I mean, it's just bad. That's all I'll say. It's bad. I don't know. Maybe I'm getting the wrong ones. But that's it. And then we go upstairs, maybe? Are we done with the living room? I think we're done with the living room, and then we go upstairs. I've accidentally skipped a little bit of the room, but all I've done is put some more clutter out. And then I went with like a brownish tan bed spread. And then I changed the the room next to them to be like the office nook. And then they have their like little ensuite. So I don't know, it's very cute and plain, I guess. But the wallpapers add a bit of color to everything, because I went with like very bright and bold colors, the primaries, yellow, blues, pinks, and all that. Pink is not a primary, but yellow, red, and whatever other colors are there. But yeah, this is pretty much very cute and simple. And like I said, she's very tan and brown and stuff like that. And then I try on the, and like it's the balcony. They have a connected balcony all the way around. Well, not all the way in. They have a connected balcony on this side to the daughter's room. And then they have another balcony on the other side in the front as well. But they don't wrap around like the bottom one does. But I just put like a couple sitting areas and then some more planter boxes for the dad to put in. And I tried my best to mesh everything together. Like, I don't know. She likes brown. I feel like the dad is also in this style as well. He's not too like bright. He looks a little grumpy, but he's quite family orientated, just like the other sim as well from last time. So just lots of plants and stuff like that. And then, like I said, the bathrooms all have the same stuff. And then I think I keep it all pretty much the same except for the one in the kid's bedroom because he gets a bathtub instead of a shower. But that's pretty much it. And then we do the office nook. I think it's very cutesy. And there's actually not a lot in there. I don't think so. It's just very, I did like the wall-to-wall. Is that the right saying? Wall-to-wall bookcases with the book nook kit. I really like the book nook kit right now for some reason. I just keep building my own bookcases and stuff like that because they have all like the different variations of empty and full, and it makes it look more realistic when you do that. So I just did like a simple sitting area, and then I felt like this like little square section was perfect. So I encased this. I feel like that's kind of suffocating, but I've encased this little desk in like wall-to-wall books. So there's that. And then I gave him like a little couch with another like little sitting area with a little TV so he can take like little naps and stuff like that if he doesn't want to disturb his wife in the middle of the night. Maybe I should have put a door. Did I change that to a door? Maybe I do. Because I feel like if you have like an office, you don't want to always have it open to your bedroom because that might be a little disturbing if you have another person living with you. But I don't know. I might not change that. But in hindsight, it should have been a regular door. Okay. Again, I went very light and bright. At first, I did have them in like the dark brown colorway, which I think did look okay. But I felt like it was a little bit like offsetting because everything else was very light and tan. So I didn't do that. And I didn't put a lot of extra stuff in like the empty spaces of the shelves because I felt like it had enough with the books it already had. And so that's pretty much all it looks like. And then I put a little rug to finish the space and more plants, and that's it. Okay, here it is. I've realized my door disappeared first of all. And then I realized my cabinets have disappeared. And I'm like, okay, let me fix that. And then I go back upstairs. I don't know why it keeps doing that. Does anybody else know why? That's so like annoying. And it hurts my soul that I didn't realize that at the very beginning because I have been saving my builds in my gallery instead of just hitting save because I've noticed even if I do that, it doesn't work sometimes. So I've been just using my gallery saves to act as a backup build, I guess, if that makes sense. But it doesn't work if you don't look around when you come back, okay? Because I had already finished like the 2 top rooms before I realized I have some like half of my kitchen gone. Okay. So, but it's fine. I fixed it to the best of my abilities. I was like, I think I've gotten everything that was deleted, but I'm not too sure. But we're pretty much done here. And then I think we go to the son's bedroom. And I really like his bedroom as well. I did really good this time, guys. I feel like I really got the personalities down and really like fit the vibe. I was going for like gamer, sciencey kid, I guess, if that makes sense. So very smart and very bright and stuff like that. And so I feel like he got to design his own room. So I'm thinking like Rubik's Cube and stuff like that. And then I also put a little, it looks odd out of context because this is a kid's room, right? But I put a desk on the side there, and then it has like lots of plant stuff and stuff like that. But I was kind of thinking like, if you ever done like a little plant experiment in class as a kid and stuff like that. That's like what I was thinking of. I'm like thinking he's doing that in his bedroom because his father's really into plants and everything. So I feel like he does that to connect with his father, and he experiments on plants and whatnot. And then that's why I put that there. So it's kind of odd, but it kind of fits. Okay, I swear. It was there. It's there for a reason. But I did this another like little built-in like shelf. I thought this area was really cute, and I felt like he would just play chess by himself. So I put that little, I feel like it was perfect, put in there and just slotted in it, and then slotted in that like little indent in the wall. But I never play tested this, so I don't know if anything's in the way or not. So my bad. But yeah, it's very cutesy and very kids-like. He has cardboard like play stuff he's made, and it's all very cute. I think I just love this room and the energy. It's very bright and playful. And then, like I said, I put the what is it? The kids kit like tent thing outside, but it was too big for the balcony, so I sized it down one. And it still looks very cute, but I don't know if you can use anything inside the tent. But it's there for looks. That's all I care about. If it looks good. I don't care if it works. It just needs to look good. But it's all very cute. And I thought he would have like a lava lamp. Maybe he made that himself. Because he has like the science equipment and stuff. Maybe he made himself a lava lamp. But yeah, this is like the little plant table I was talking about. So I'm thinking he like does experiments and stuff like that. I thought that was cute. And so I did it. And then the only thing else I put in here is like a little science table and then a dresser. And I just gave him some like wall decorations and a bunch of like posters and some decals. Like I said, it's very cutesy and in the style of like the sim I made before. So yeah, I like to customize everything. I wanted to make it look very lived in. I hate builds that are like bland. I don't like them. But I have to figure out how to, for the next one, like I said earlier, I have to figure out how to make it very customized without repeating myself, because I have an issue. I think I used like the same plant like 50 times in this one house. I swear. I have an issue. I just reuse everything over and over again because it's so good. Why not use it over here? I'll try it. I will try. I will try my hardest. Because I've already... What day is it? I've already made the other family, so it might come up after this video. So you'll see the video of the family for the build of not repeating myself as well. So we have a whole style to go for. We're pretty much done here, and I give him like ribbons because he's really smart and he's won a bunch of awards and stuff like that. And then that's pretty much it. And then I found this and I was like, oh, this is so cute. So now she supports the Pride community and stuff like that. The teenager, just because I like the little lights and like little decals in there. It's so cute. I love when they put like those. It's like a little surprise for me whenever I come back and there's a new item and I don't notice. I'm like, where did this come from? I love this. But I think we're now on to the teen's bedroom. It's very cute. Like I said, this is my favorite room. I don't know what I did, but it's very like cutesy and nice. I love everything. It's very bright and colorful. And then I moved this wall slightly over from the other house. And then I gave her, because there used to be 2 separate bedrooms and then an extra like little office, that circle room. And so I just moved this wall slightly over and I gave her like a walk-in closet, I guess. But I didn't really want to do a built-in closet. So I just used a couple of like the IKEA, I think they were literally called IKEA closet pieces from university maybe. And so I used those to make like a custom little closet. And then I gave her the other circle space as well as a little art studio. So I feel like her whole style is like inside this whole section of the house, because it feels like she picked out all of her like furnishing and stuff like that. I feel like she did all that, and then she like paints on the walls and stuff like that and posted up everything, posters and everything else. So I feel like this room is really matching her aesthetic and vibe. And then I don't know, I think I really love that the like little light, like the neon light mirror we have that is like 3D with like the 3 different like little circle. I don't know how do I describe it? I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about. Like the floor length mirror of like the neon light sign, the neon light mirror. But I love that mirror. I use it every time in a teen's bedroom. I think it looks really nice. But yeah, this is pretty much like the whole vibe we're going for. And then I decorated it out with like rugs and everything else. And this is pretty much all I do. And then she also liked reading, so I had to put a couple bookcases in here as well. So I don't know why she's taken over this whole like section of the room, but because originally I was gonna give her like the greenhouse as well, so maybe that's why in the back of my mind I was thinking, well, I was gonna give her all that space before, so I might as well do it now inside the house. Because what am I gonna do with all these extra bedrooms? Because last time I did just like extra rooms and guest bedrooms that weren't really gonna be used, but now this whole section is gonna be used just by her. So it kind of makes the rooms more usable than what I had on the other side. But it's very good, cutesy, and nice. I love this room. I don't know, I think it's the colors. I really like sunsetty like colors like this, and it has everything. Pinks, reds, and oranges. I love those colors. But then we do either the artist room and or the closet. Wow, I'm blinking. But then I actually didn't use like the full like artist kit in studio stuff because I felt like she's just like a teenager, so she doesn't have like a fully fleshed out like studio space yet. So I just gave her like a little easel and then some canvases she's been working on and some like basic supplies on the floor. But then I just put like a little like benches and stools in there as well as like a little extra hangout spot for her and her friends. So I felt like it was like very cutesy and in her style because I put my favorite couch in there, the little kiss slips. I love those. I absolutely love those that chair. It's so cute. But yeah, this is pretty much it. And then I put a bunch of candles in here for some reason. I don't know. Reminisce of the other house that has a bunch of candles. And that's why the house burned down. But anyway. I didn't do it, but I did think of it at like the very end. The reason there is like a I think I'm on the right side. I think I'm on the left side of the house. On this side, right at the very top of the house, there is a couple of extra rooms up there that aren't usable because the roof line sticks into the room and I couldn't get it to disappear even if I like divided the room into different rooms, if that makes sense. And so technically there isn't that space up there, but I was supposed to put like a little seance room in here so they can connect to their ghostly relatives across the way, but I didn't do that. We can just pretend. Okay, we can pretend they have access to that like top little attic area, because actually I left it all like brown and dark and wood in the original style of the house because they didn't have access to it. So technically that could be like the little seance room to the ancestors if you can figure out a way to get rid of the roof cutting in, if that makes sense, because it was really annoying. I was gonna use it for that, but I couldn't get the roofs to go away. I gave up. I was like, whatever, I give up. But I tried to absolutely cover the space in like decor and wall objects, like all the like artsy photographs and stuff like that. And then I found a periodic table that I found was perfect for the sciencey kid bedroom. So I had to go back and add it over there. And then that's pretty much it in here. We do the little artist room, and it looks very cutesy and bright and nice again. That's my new saying of the day: bright and nice. Okay. I always like to use like the little freestanding like I don't know what you call them, like canvases or prints on the floor that are just freestanding. I like to put those on the floor because I feel like that's how my room is. I have a bunch of like random canvases everywhere that I don't have any use yet for, or I have like half completed paintings everywhere. That's kind of what my room looks like. So I always like to do that. And then I do put the little, what do we call it, the paint tarp down, because I like to, even though I don't do this, I have a tarp underneath my like easel, but then I move it back because it gets in my way a lot, and so I do spill paint on the floor a lot. So So yeah, it's there, but it doesn't really help me much, does it? But I use it in this sense. But yeah, I used the kiss slips, and then I added little stereo and some stools because I felt like this could also be like a little hangout area for her. And I thought the bear hurt was cute, so I put that on there, and that's basically all that's in here. And then we moved on to the what did you call it, closet, and then again a bunch of more like painting stuff and posters and everything else like that. So very lived in and cutesy. And then I was trying to find graffiti that would fit on the wall, but I couldn't fit it anywhere except for here. I think it still looks nice. And then I add a little bit of more graffiti at the very top maybe, and it's just a little extra piece there. And then I just do like the shelves, like I said. And so it's not very what would you call it? There's not a lot of clutter in there, but the objects fill the space enough so it's not very needed, I guess, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's a good amount of stuff in here. But like I said, this is my favorite room over there, and I tried my best. I wanted to use these for some reason because I thought it was like, oh, this is kind of fancy. It kind of fits the vibe, but it really didn't. So I just deleted those, and I used the IKEA shelves instead. I don't know why I was trying to use this. It doesn't really fit the vibe, does it? But this is also kind of fancy, but it fits the aesthetic more than the big giant shelves. This is the neon light. I love this light. I wish I had this lighted mirror. Okay, I can't speak anymore. I've been talking for too long. Yeah, that's pretty much all I had in here. And then this rug really like pulls the room together with like the cool tones of the blue and purple. We're going upstairs, and I'm just gonna skip the rest of that. But we did a little games room for the kids again. Well, not again, because the other house had like a little. Well, technically I've done it. Okay, technically I did do it. They had like a full-on library instead, but I feel like I've done that downstairs in that little circle room. But now that I have like a bunch more like activity objects that the kids can do, I can make like a separate games room, I guess, is what I did this. And I made them like a cool little like built-in what would you call this, like a movie center console thing, I guess. And that's basically what I did on the side. And then is that a projector? Maybe that's like a projector. It kind of gives me projector screen vibes. I don't know. And like I said, I feel like the kids and the teen kind of furnish this space because it's much more like chaotic and not as put together as the rest of the rooms. But yeah, I feel like it's very cutesy and nice. And then I took away most of the windows because everything was like in the way of like the TV screen. And so I did like a fully built-in console wall with the Dream Home Decorator, maybe this might be. And then that's pretty much all that's in here. And then I gave them like a little, what do you call this? Coffee nook or like a snack nook, I guess, with like a microwave and popcorn. And that's all that's in there. And then obviously all of like the activities over here. And then I had a couple of like extra activities I had on like the side that I couldn't fit in this room. I just threw those out in the hallway. Like they've like expanded into the space. And the mom's like, fine, you can have this whole top floor. Just don't come into my room. But so she has like that whole her own zone over there on the other side of the level. Yeah, that's pretty much in here. It's very cutesy. And then I just put like a bunch of decals and posters on the wall. So she just pretty much lets them do whatever they want in here because it's their space, just like their bedroom. So I thought that was pretty cute and nice up here. And then they do some studying or what do you call it, crafting. I think that's like scissors and stuff like that on the thing. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then we just go into the like little space outside. What is it? I keep forgetting what they're called. Entryway? Not an entryway. This is the top level. The foyer, that place. I put what did I put? I put a fish tank out there. I put the hamster out there. I felt like since I technically don't have a pet, I felt like they needed a pet. So I put those stuff out there because I felt like they needed something to take care of other than themselves. And then I never used the hamster. That's why I'm using it. but I've been using it a lot for my kids because I never use it. I put it out there, and then I used the little like weird hamster ball decals they have to finish the wall. So I did that for once. I never used those either. So I did a lot of extra stuff out there that I didn't really need to do. And here that is. And it's just like the little decals, you just mush them all together until you get like a full tunnel, I guess, system going. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And just the fish stuff there. I don't know, is there any other pets like you can have? There's the fish, the little hamster. Is there anything else? I don't know, I can't remember. I thought there was like an ant farm. Is there an ant farm? I tried to find that because I felt like that would be good for the Pinty kid. But I don't think I didn't find any. Is there one? Or I'm making that up. I don't know. And I just threw the other extra like game stuff I found out here that didn't fit into the room. And so they've basically taken up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So they have like 7 spaces in the house that hang out technically, while the parents only have like 3. So they've basically taken over the whole house. So it's very nice. But yeah, we're pretty much putting up more decor items, and then we can just go over to the spa room. I felt like I shouldn't, like, isn't it bad to have like steam on like wood and stuff? Isn't that like bad? So I put like tile in here instead. So I feel like it was more like a bathroom type vibe, I guess. I don't know if that makes sense, but that's what I went for. And then I put like bamboo. I just put like basically the quality stuff in here. So I put bamboo and not flowers. What am I doing? Candles. I'm looking for the word candles. I put candles and bamboo and plant stuff out here. And that's pretty much all I had in here. So it's basically a bunch of decor, and then there's like the steaming portion. The steaming portion. What is that called? Sauna. There you go. The sauna. And then on the next room, I felt like she would have like a little private yoga spot, and then I felt like the daughter might join her every once in a while, or one of the other, her son might join her. So I put a couple of extra mats and cushions in there, and then I just made it very cozy with like the rugs and candles. That's pretty much all that's in there. And then I added like a little separate yoga spot out on the balcony on this floor, three mats so they can have family yoga time. But that's pretty much it for the interior, and then we go outside to do the greenhouse real quick, and then some last minute touches to the outside. But that I didn't do too much more on the outside. It pretty much looked all the same except for like the I put a couple extra playground equipment, like I said in the beginning. But I tried my best to fit as many planter boxes. I never do greenhouses. I try my best to fit as many planter boxes and stuff in here based on like the layout I had. And then I did forget I have like an open, I could have gotten rid of it, but I just kept the original structure. I could have, I have like an open ceiling look down into the bottom floor, if that makes sense. And then I had put those like little hanging planter boxes, and I had realized they were just floating on air. I pushed them too far over. I had to adjust all those. But yeah. It's an okay greenhouse, but it's not my best work. I don't really do greenhouses. So I just put a bunch of planter boxes, and then I felt like I put like a middle aisle of desks or like shelves in the middle, I guess. Whatever you want to call those middle pieces. And I just put like random like planter, like fresh like planter stuff they picked up at the store. They haven't like quite planted yet. So that's what I put there. I put a random planter box there and stuff like that. I don't know. I just filled it with plants and greenery. And you know what I forgot? I was going to, but you can actually just get random fully bloomed debug plants off the gallery, but I forgot to do that. My bad. But anyway, we're almost done. We just got to add some more planter boxes outside just to get it more lively on this back pathway. I felt like it was a little bland. And then I just have to fix the last minute playground equipment I have over in the corner, and then we are done. But I was really trying to force that what is that called, a monkey bar in there, but I didn't have enough space. And then I felt like the pool was a little too close to like the actual pool, so I had to put like a bush there to make it like seam fence off, so technically a toddler wouldn't fall into the actual pool, you know what I mean? But that's all I had for you guys today. So thank you guys for watching so much, and I hope to see you guys next time.